Hi, I'm Don.
And I'm Sandy, and this is the story of our environmental business venture.
And environmental disaster.
How did you get started in environmental printing?
Well, Sandy and I moved out to the country and fulfilled a lifelong dream in 1996. Sandy left her job in banking and I left my job in the automotive trade. We decided to open up a business and we chose environmental printing. We used our own savings as well as a credit line from the bank.
How was the early recognition of what you were doing? Obviously, environmentally sensitive printing wasn't a huge thing for a lot of other companies at the time.
We received a lot of early recognition because of our unique business concept, which was to have our whole printing process environmentally responsible. Many other print shops, if not all of them, the commercial print shops, have many, many chemicals. This particular system that we decided to go with was that hybrid digital duplicator.
Sandy, how did you get the name for your business? So the first bit was a little rough and slow in business, but what kind of growth did you see in the next couple of years?
Well, the next couple of years was a lot of hard work, a lot of knocking on doors, and various forms of marketing. We grew a little slower than we had anticipated, so we continued to dip into our savings. We took a deep breath and added an addition onto the house, a 12 by 20, because we had grown enough that it required more space. We remortgaged our house and added. That's how we paid for that.
What kind of things did you implement in order to try and increase sales and get things happening a little more? So now you had a loan out from the Business Development Bank, and how did it work out? How did things progress from that point on with the new machine?
Well, looking back, I would say that we think that's when things sort of seem to start to go wrong.
Unfortunately, we had the only machine in the world that decided to act up and cause problems. It was down for approximately the next 9-10 months. And through pleading with the manufacturer, we finally got them to change the machine.
We weren't down the whole time. We were able to print jobs, but we were constantly calling the service reps, the technicians, and they were constantly at our place. And it was very, like Don said, it was very nerve-wracking.
So it was always touch and go.
It was touch and go, and it was a very difficult time for us to get through. We did lose some jobs because we couldn't meet the requirements because of being down, and we actually lost some people that, you know, were potential clients.
And during all this time, you also had this loan to pay back on the equipment.
Exactly. Our debt kept piling up, and we were having a lot of trouble meeting the payments on our various loans and lines of credit. So we decided that in order to ease the stress somewhat, we would consolidate all our bills and remortgage the house again. So, I mean, it did ease things, but it left, of course, our mortgage was higher and our monthly payments were quite a bit higher.
All right. Things were so stressful. What made you decide to carry on? Why didn't you just, get rid of the equipment
just thought this was it. Like, we've hit it, all our struggle, all our years, because we had been trying since 2002 to get the eye of the government.
So you got this award, and obviously that would have given you more credibility and additional recognition from provincial and federal government, I would think. And it sounds like you had the only environmentally friendly printing. You were the only one printing in Canada in a green manner.
But it still didn't seem to make a difference, or didn't seem to impact the right people in the government. At that point, we were so cynical about, with all the hypocrisy that we encountered in the government.
As an award winner, it puts you on as a preferred printer right across Canada, provincial environment ministry as well as federal environment ministries. But I guess we weren't preferred enough. Again, all of this, award winning, everything, and we were still in difficult times. It was very, very disheartening.
So at that point, obviously, you were just starting to get ready to quit. What were you thinking about at that point? Where did you go from there? So what was your frame of mind at this point? You've tried several things. You must have felt failure at that point. But
Yes, we did.
how did you keep going?
At that point, we had tried everything. As I said, all of the ideas that we had come up with, we felt that we had really tried everything we could think of, and there really wasn't anything else we could do. Besides that, we were at such a low point mentally and psychologically. It made no sense to keep going. We just didn't have, we didn't have the energy. We were stressed out. Our debt was high. Our credit cards were maxed out, and it just didn't make sense to keep trying to run a losing business. We finally realized, after weeks of agonizing, that we really had no choice but to declare bankruptcy. We had notified all our clients. We had sent everybody their files who wanted them, and so at least we could take the time to do the things that we needed to do.
So what's your present state of as far as your mental health and search for income is?
It's really hard to start over. Sandy's 63 and I'm 58. We put a lot in this 10 years. This was going to be our investment, retirement.
They allowed us to keep our house as long as we would pay back the equity. So what it comes out to is about $30,000 that we have to repay to the trustees so they can distribute it among the creditors.
This is the hardest point in our life. It's the biggest trouble, the lowest point.
It's really hard to be starting over as if, you're just starting out in life, and basically that's what we're having to do.